we've all done cold calling, right? Everybody's done cold calling on some level where you like, or prospecting or circle prospecting.
Uh-huh.
Kind of sucks, right? It works, but you have to get through a lot of calls in order to book an appointment. If you focus your list on permitting lists,
What type of permit?
construction permits.
Okay. So
So
add-ons, pool addition, anything?
So
Any
most
type of permit?
jurisdictions, yeah, most jurisdictions will have some sort of database that you can look up.
Uh-huh.
Seattle and Bellevue have a really easy one, which is nice. You can see visually on a map like what type of permits have been pulled for what type of inventory, what asset class. You could filter all that stuff. So specifically, we love the infill development. So tear down one house, put one house back on. That's much nicer. We love the infill because it's relatively quick compared to, doing short plats or long plats or, mixed use development. So we filter down for the people who are building infill development, and you just start calling these builders off of the projects that they have in permitting. It's the best thing you could ever do to generate new
What's
clients.
the type of conversation when you're reaching out to them?
Okay, so you hit it from a couple different levels. First question
Okay.
is, hey, I saw that you pulled a permit for a project on, Elm Street. Uh, that's a great neighborhood. I drove by it. Looks like it's coming along. Is that a project that you're planning on building all the way through? In doing this, you're basically asking them, is that inventory going to come to market at a later date, and when is that date? So first step is like you're building your off-market inventory so that you have something to pitch to buyers at the open houses, right? So that's step number one, is like you're not trying to get that listing because it's probably already accounted for, with whoever brought them the deal. However, it does tell you, okay, here's a piece of inventory that other people don't know about that I can pitch to grab a buy client, a retail buyer client. If they say, oh yeah, projects, it's going well, it's coming on this date, then great. You just mark it down. Now you have that. They say, it's actually, it's a little bit slow right now. We're still waiting on contractors. Then it's an opportunity for you to break into like, okay, well, what's going on with that project? Why is it stalled out? There's a lot of reasons that builders stall out. It could be a contractor issue. More likely, it's a money issue. And
Mhm.
so there are a lot of builders, especially the smaller and boutique style builders, which I
Mhm.
recommend you going after,
Mhm.
right? Versus the institutional or the big builders. You
Yep.
want the smaller ones. And a lot of times what they'll do is they'll have to, like, they'll be waiting for a project to sell before they can finish the next one.
Mm.
And so this is a cycle that is like hard for them to get out of. And so a lot of times, if you have the conversation with them and say, hey, is that something you would consider, getting off your books early? A lot of times they'll say yes. And so it could be one of those where then you can pitch it to your next call to the next builder and you say, hey, I've got this project, it's in permitting. They haven't broke ground on it. Like, what kind of projects are you looking for? And so you kind of start stringing these conversations together where you're building your off-market inventory for the retail side. You are creating inventory that's in permitting and hasn't been completed yet to pitch to another builder. And then you're bringing value to that other builder by saying, hey, look, I can bring you projects that I want the back end listing on. And
Mm.
so by doing this, you kind of got this circular effect of conversation where all of a sudden you're talking about projects that are not even on the permitting report yet. Right? You're like, oh yeah, okay, you're going to build that one out, but like, what else do you have in your pipeline? And then you just open up this conversation with builders to have a lot of inventory to be pitching. So when I do this, I'm like every 30 to 40 calls, I'm doing a deal. Like it's the hit rate is that high. Um, and these are like now deals, right? So you're selling things that are in permitting or going through entitlement or might be coming in the market. You sell it as a pre-sale. Like there's so many options in those conversations, and the benefit is that the builders are in the business of picking up the phone, and so
Yeah, there.
your hit rate on conversations is way higher than the retail side, and you're calling business numbers, so the DNC requirements don't apply. So you don't
Dude, I
have to,
love that.
you don't have to
That might
filter
be
your
one of the
DNC.
best nuggets I've heard in a long time from the cold outreach type of strategy. That
It's
is spot on.
yeah, it's
Spot on.
really
It
good.
just made me think, a gentleman across the street is rehabbing a project. It's taking some time. And so we're just in conversation with him and he's like, oh yeah, man, it's a done project. I've already sold it to the buyer, but their time frame is months down the road. So we're taking care of other projects. What other projects do you have? Oh, I got this one over here. It's going to be brand new. It's going to be, I'm like, oh, cool. Can we go check it out? Right. So I see that strategy. I didn't even put two and two together, but that is awesome.
Yeah. And that's how we built our business. We've sold, townhouse developments doing this, a lot of infill stuff. We've sold a couple of short plats doing this. It works. We've
Yeah.
pitched a lot of big buildings like you guys know Skanska? You guys have Skanska around your part of the country? They build big skyscrapers. We've pitched deals to them with 1 acre lots in downtown Bellevue doing the same thing, talking to people who have submitted permits on, a 40-story building. Um, there's stuff like that to pitch as well, depending on what asset class you want to niche down into. So if you can find a jurisdiction that you can get that data, it's totally worth it.